Instead of trying to find peace, you can ask yourself, is there already peace here? Instead of trying to calm the mind, you could ask, is there something here that's already deeply calm? Very deeply calm. Instead of trying to find freedom, you could ask yourself, what is it that's already free? What is it that's always free? What is it that could never not be free? Instead of trying to end your suffering, you could ask yourself, is there something here that doesn't suffer? Be willing to look closely at your experience, including at the suffering itself, to find it. Instead of trying to get into some state, perhaps notice something right here that isn't bound by states. It isn't bound by conditions. It isn't bound by circumstances. Instead of trying to negate or end the narrative that's so uncomfortable, perhaps look for or recognize, notice, acknowledge that which cannot be described and thus has no narrative. But it doesn't mean it's not here. Instead of trying to move to the future, the imagined future, the future when you feel more at peace, perhaps notice right now the timeless aspect, the timeless dimension, which means it's not missing anything. It's not missing a future. It's not missing a past. It's not missing a present. All pasts, present, and futures are contained here, accommodated by timelessness. Timelessness accommodates everything. It accommodates all experience, and it shows us the experienceless. It shows us where we're not bound by experience. We're not defined by experience. We're not defined by seeking experience. We're not defined by having preferable experiences and unpreferable experiences. So what is it that's free of that right now in your experience? What is free of the need to pick and choose? What is free of being bound by preferences? Which means if a preference appears or a thought about a preference, there's no reaction, no problem, no resistance. Instead of struggling with thoughts, look for, notice, recognize, acknowledge that which is untouched by thought, which doesn't mean it's distanced from thought or apart from this immediate experience. It simply means it's not moved by thought, stained by thought, perturbed. Instead of looking for the perfect technique in the moment, notice that which cannot be reached by techniques because it's too close. Instead of trying to control your experience or control anything, and instead of trying to relinquish control or give up control or react to the thoughts about control, look for, notice, recognize, acknowledge what has nothing to do with control. What could possibly have nothing to do with control? Because it's already everything, every possibility, and also no possibility, meaning unbound by possibilities. It's not a loss of control, because a loss of control suggests that there is a possibility of control. It's just not about that. These are thoughts. So what is it here that's not subject to any of that? Not stuck in a paradigm of control or loss of control. Not stuck in a paradigm of being or non-being. Not stuck in a paradigm of self or no self. Not stuck in a paradigm of healed or healing or unhealed. What is it that's perfectly accommodating of all possibilities, all experiences, all sensations, all sounds, all movements, all stillness? Just notice, accept, acknowledge that, which is already your experience. It's every aspect of your experience, every thought, every sensation, every sound, every taste, every form, every color, every smell. Find what can never be lost. Acknowledge what's never been not the case, never been a part, never been lost, never needs to be found. Simple acknowledgement is very powerful. It's potent. We just have to remind ourselves not to only acknowledge part of experience. Only acknowledge what we're conditioned to believe we want or need. What about the rest? What if we acknowledge all of it? What we don't need, what we don't want, what has nothing to do with us, our wants, our needs. What if we acknowledge all of it at the same time?